Secret Invasion. It was good. It wasn't like oh my god worthy or it was like the worst thing in the world. Yeah, it was just good. But I can definitely see how people can see like it's like horrible or the case maybe or like they don't really like it. With me myself having my fair share of issues with the show. And oh yeah, side note by the way, I'm not arguing with a soul in the comments, but if you guys want to have a discussion or talk about it or even just give your opinion in the comments, go ahead. We could probably have like a little small conversation or the case may be. That's always pretty fun to do with everybody down there. But anywho, like on this channel we always do, let's do the negatives and then we do the positives, right? So the first thing I will say is like what the first negative is that I think it's dead air.
Reloading!
Right? In this show I do feel like it's a little bit dead air. But let me be like very clear, I mean only in episode 1 because I feel like okay, it's the scene where we get like I guess the recruits and the people that's coming to like the refugee camp or the case may be. Also by the way, spoilers by the way. But the people that come to refugee camp, I understand like I guess you're just showing me I guess the point of like hey, people are joining the camp, people are just like his numbers are growing, everything is like going really high and bad or the case may be. But it's like I don't know, I just don't care. Like it's not, they don't give me enough for me to like actually care about like the person that's like joining this little army or the case may be or this little revolutionary thing that's happening. Also like and subscribe, it helps. I guess going to another con would be just an AI generated like intro.
Hell no! Hell no!
But that shit looks horrible. I am also not a fan or don't advocate for that AI generated shit. Like I just think it's stupid. And in terms of like it's literally stealing obviously art from other people and then creating something new. And I just don't, I'm really not with it, especially when it makes people lose jobs, and that also is going on as well as people are even now just losing jobs to AI, which really sucks. I do love it for like having fun or doing some fun stuff, right? But like when it comes to people's livelihoods, I don't obviously condone shit like that. But yeah, the AI generated intro just in general, even if it looked fucking like great, I wouldn't also advocate for it, but I would tell you if it looked good. But in my opinion, I don't think it looks good at all. It looks like garbage, really. But anywho, back to another con that I have is like sort of one of the really, really big ones is like wanting more, I guess, from the show Secret Invasion, especially like knowing the stuff from the comic books of like how basically anybody could be a scroll and stuff like that. Like it has borderline like limitless potential, I feel like, in my opinion. We could have had like people that were dead or quote unquote dead, like you see in them again as like a scroll or the case may be, or just like iconic hero right now, like again like Captain Marvel or something like that, just come in and be like, oh wow, it's Captain Marvel, oh no, it's a fucking scroll or the case may be. Like it feels like you could have done a lot more. And again, I do like the idea of having Rhodey in there in the show, but I think I got this idea from and also agree with this person, I think it was like Sal from Comic Pop, where he talks about how I believe it's Rhodey, he's in the show, but like he's not in the suit, so he's not like really a superhero right now, he's just Rhodey. And that yeah, it makes sense of like, hey, we want like more superheroes in the show so we can like have scrolls and stuff like that instead of just having the person themselves there. Then my next con, which is a sort of partially con, because I think this character is decent, but I'll talk about their good when I get to the good section. But it's Gaia, right? I think Gaia is decent in the sense of like what she is like used for character wise. I feel like she's a bit undercooked. Like I feel like I need like a lot more, not a lot, a decent amount more for it to like really be fleshed out as a character. In cases, I feel like she was like more or less a foil for Talos in that sense, and really just trying to, I guess, build up what's happening in terms of Secret Invasion, as well as build up like the storyline of like, hey, we're supposed to have a different home, or the case may be. But it comes off, again, like I said before, undercooked when it comes to Gaia. Because it feels like a bit ambiguous, but like not in a sort of, not that great of a good way, especially when it comes to, like, I guess, the end of Secret Invasion. Like, what is she going to do now, per se? Like, she has all these powers, or the case may be. And then also, it's like, what is the plan? Like, what do you plan to do? Like, what is the next step forward? And just me just feeling like if we just delve deep a little bit more into her, as well as give her a little bit more screen time, like the other people like Nick Fury, which also I know we weren't gonna get, but I'm just saying if we did, it would be a lot more better in that sense. Well, my last con being like the boss fight in a sense. Well, I'll say it myself, I did think some of the parts were like cool, of like some of the powers that were being adapted or being used, or the case may be, but it all just felt a little bit off-putting. Like it felt weird. I don't know if I can't tell what it is, or it's just like the way that everything was going as the sequencing. Maybe that's what also threw me off a little bit. And also probably the look or maybe the FX of things, what was happening for some other characters. I just felt a little bit off and weirded by some of the fights and sequences. And then also the added meme of we killing like every single Marvel villain, but every single like fucking show, movie, or whatever the fuck is out at this point in time. Oh yeah, and one more thing, by the way, one last con is like, I felt like at this point we should like change it up in terms of like the show of how things look. Like they look a lot more samey-ish in a in a way of like how each film, or I guess no, sorry, my fault. Like every show looks, and maybe like certain films do look a little bit different than everything else. But like for example, right? Okay, so we have Miss Marvel as just an example. Miss Marvel episode 1, where like it has all this cool ass coloristic stuff or cool ass animation stuff happening at the beginning, and it never gets happened again, which fucking sucks. But it's still at least a different change of pace of like how the show looks, as well as I don't know, maybe using a different camera or some shit. I feel like we're using the same shit over and over again. Like we could have like a change, you know what I mean? Now for the pros, right? So the first pro I will give this show is I think the dialogue in the show is actually pretty good, right? In a sense of okay, so I feel like it's in a cycle of these 5 characters, or at least 4 characters. You know what? I'll say 5, right? So you also have Nick Fury, you have Gaia, partially Gaia, not fully, just partially Gaia, Talos, Gravik, and also Fury's wife as well. I think all those 5 people together have very, very good, cool fucking moments, right? So, okay, so I'll go in an example of Sam Jackson and then also his wife. It's not a funny scene, but me and my dad, I watched the show with my dad, we had laughed our ass off when in the end they didn't end up killing each other, because in the beginning Sam Jackson's like, you were the biggest mistake of my life.
By far and away, the greatest mistake.
You were the worst. It was so funny. It was so funny just thinking back on that, and just like in her head she's like, damn, I wasn't gonna kill him, but I might actually have to kill him. But just the chemistry together, I think, is very, very well. And then also, I do really like Talos in the show because he's fucking delusional as hell. This guy actually genuinely thinks if we just save the world one more time, they'll just like, the Earthlings will just come down and suck their cocks or some shit like that. Like, well, like, bro, you're aliens that have been on this Earth for a really long time secretly, and then you guys are gonna try to take over the Earth. It's not gonna end well. Like, you should know it's not gonna end well. And then that's why I also like the conversation between Guy as well as Talos, and Guy just saying like, yo, you're fucking crazy, like you're delusional, this isn't gonna end well, we need to find a new home, we need to get the hell off this planet. And she's actually correct. And Gravik, I think Gravik is actually a good villain. I don't think he's bad. It's just like, he does seem a little bitchy and whiny, especially in the beginning when he's like, oh my god, Fury, you promised to actually get us a new home, it's been 80 fucking years, where's my new home, like he's definitely bitching and whining for sure. But I think he does really good on his line deliveries when he talks to Fury, especially at the end, as well as his conversations and interactions with everyone else, feeling like he's like almost like a king, like almost on a pedestal, talking like down to these people, like, you have to like do what I say, this is the right way of like how we do things around here type shit. Like, he is the law. Also, I think the scenes between Talos and Fury together, I think they're also pretty well, like them reminiscing, 1, about the old times, and 2, at the same time, them having that argument. And then I'm talking about the argument specifically, sorry, in the train, where they have the argument of like, you let 1 million fucking Skrulls live on this planet, you told them all to come here, are you serious? You didn't say anything. It is like, yeah, you were here, shit like that. And I think that argument is actually, 1, hilarious, because also Sam Jackson flat out says, yo, we can't even like coexist with each other on Earth, you think we can coexist with Skrulls? And I was just like, I thought that was an amazing scene and also amazing line as well. I was like, damn, that was pretty good. And also another character I really do like and appreciate is Olivia Colman in the show. I think she does a really good job of being like menacing, and feels like she's always on top of things. The things don't really slip out of her hands. Like the place that she's in, and the section that she's at, and the position that she's in, is like, she's solid, like she's good. Feeling like she has like the power of like, I don't know, like a British Fury or some shit like that. But also bringing back to one more con that also escaped my head. Well, it's not really a con, it's just like, I hope it's not what I think it is, right? In a sense of Don Cheadle, him being a Skrull like the whole time, I hope that that's actually not true, or the case is that, I'm pretty sure it's unconfirmed, at least at this point in time. I don't know per se. I think the director said, oh, he thought he was a Skrull since like Civil War, but it's not actually confirmed, or the case may be, right? So I hope, if my opinion, right, where I would like for him to be a Skrull would definitely be after Endgame. Like, maybe something happened like after Endgame, he just got replaced to being a Skrull for like a while or a point in time, because like it would obviously, you lose all his character development if that was the case, right? So I guess potential con in that case, potential con. And something also I hope that does not happen is like, we all have all these powerful characters and then they just end up getting nerfed, or instantly getting killed or shelved off, or the case may be, because they're too fucking strong, aka like Gaia by the end of the fucking show, or any other new characters that are coming out. Well, we do have insane threats like Celestials and everything else out there. But it's just a thought, food for thought, basically. And then there's also one last positive I'll go over before we get on out of here is I think them putting in like extra tidbits, like extra facts and extra information into, I guess, the lore of the story, I guess, of the Marvel universe, is they do it pretty well in this case. And case in point of like when Fury's like, oh, all these scrolls now I gotta like take care of them, or the case may be, or like you guys can live here, you guys just work under me, you guys are now like a super secret agency, and also the government doesn't really know about you, so if they found out they probably would like experiment or like kill you or the case may be, but you're here for now until I find you like a home. And especially with Fury, like I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually, I don't know, it's either I'm between decent or good when it comes to that idea of Fury like not like doing it per se, or trying to do it, or he's like, ah, damn, I can't find a home, let me just not tell them type shit. Like that does seem like a Fury thing to do per se. But that's all my thoughts. I think I'm done here. I do want to say thank you guys for all the support you guys have been doing. Really, really appreciate it. For the last two videos, you guys went pretty crazy. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and also watching. But see you guys later. Bye.